Now you guys are just seeing a really desperate situation for me, where it looks like my whole unit is just going to get wiped out. You guys are seeing that my unit's actually able to survive a really long time, which just shows you how special they are. They're doing a lot of damage before they get taken out, and I think I'm going to let this unit actually die off while I get some more units and just prepare for a much better, more balanced army. But these guys are definitely heroes, and here comes the worm, completely just really devastating my units. But you guys see they're actually level 4 now. Welcome to the channel. How are you guys doing? Thanks so much for being here. This is called Battle for Middle-earth 2. Now this is actually a mod called Age of the Ring. If you guys like Lord of the Rings, then I highly recommend you guys check out this match. It's really fun. It was a lot of back and forth. So here on the left we have Isengard, and on the right side we have Mordor, but it's actually the Misty Mountain faction, and it has a mixture of a lot of different things. What I really enjoy about this mod is the fact that there's just a massive unit diversity, and I think that they actually balance out the game a lot better than it used to be. So here you guys are seeing some just Moria. So you guys know Mines of Moria from the movie, where you guys see the Balrog. So these are really cheap archer units, but pretty good for in the beginning of the game because you could spam really easily. On the left here, we got Warg Riders coming from right here, because you guys see the Warg Pit. On the right side, I have my friend Oliver, who I play this game a lot with, and primarily with. He's actually playing as the elves. He really likes the faction, and it's actually really cool. They added these hobbits. You guys are seeing the battle going on there. The hobbits are just beating the wargs to death. And now you guys are seeing some these are actually the wild men from the Dunland, and actually I think we saw a little bit of that in the new Lord of the Rings TV show. Here we're seeing an engagement happening between the elves and of course Isengard primarily, and a little bit of the Misty Mountains units here. You guys see that they are attacking the elven dormitory right here, and the tower as well, which is important because they do need to get rid of these. At the same time, you guys see that I'm actually building a tower here to try to help my ally to have just a little bit of better defense. Right now he has some resource trees up, but and he has one of these hobbit buildings, but not too much. He's trying to build up some units to stop this massive onslaught. And this unit right here, the Dunlading Axemen are actually really strong, especially early game. They can kind of run over any of the units that I can spawn from this barracks right here. I would just have to have a lot more of them. But you see, you guys are seeing an engagement right now between them and my dwarves, and as you guys can tell, there really isn't much left. I'm not really able to do too much against them. Let's see how the spearmen fare against these Duneling. And of course the Oliver came in here with the Macarai. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but they are a lot better than my little dwarven spears. Wow, look how they're being launched. Looks like they're pretty strong. I think this is actually a hero unit that he's using right now. And you guys do see they have a lot of really cool upgrades. But actually my spear unit was able to survive. You guys can see that. We actually were able to hold off that onslaught, thankfully, which allows us to rebound a little bit. Let's take a look at what our enemy's doing here on the right. They built a lot of goblin layers here. So again, like I said, it's pretty spammy. The only problem with this is if your opponent gets better tiered units, these units are, it doesn't matter how much of them you have, it's really hard to overwhelm the enemy when they have just fully upgraded units. Wow, check out all the different statues. Now, if you guys are not aware, this game is actually quite old. It came out in the 2000s, and it's actually been upgraded and modded over and over again. There actually is a mod in progress that is called the Reforged mod. We don't really know if it will ever come out, but you know, a lot of people are looking forward to it because it looks like they're gonna modernize the game so it's current to today's age. Because as you know, as nice as you can mod a game, it's just really hard to make it look like it's something current. Because you know, these models are nice, but it still looks like a, you know, maybe a 2009 or 10 game at most. And again, here I'm building different towers with different abilities that allow us to just have an advantage over the enemy. It looks like we've stabilized this middle area here, although Oliver is still fighting rogue units that are probably coming from the Misty Mountains from this path right here. You guys see they are building and slowly expanding towards this way. Now you guys are seeing these tunnel systems coming down here. And now you guys are seeing that Oliver is actually doing a really good job at keeping his units alive, which is actually really, really important if you want your units to be just a higher level and just do a lot better. And here in the middle, we're seeing another one of these fireworm, which, like you see, they have 3,500 health, so they're really, really tough. Even when you have better upgraded units, they just lay waste. I mean, you guys will see. There, Oliver actually used a really cool upgrade, and it did damage the dragon, give him some more time, although unfortunately, there goes the dragon breathing the fire again, damaging his hero units quite well. But he was able to kill it quite quickly. And you do see the enemy spamming more and more units. Here on the left side, I'm dealing with a bunch of these. I'm actually playing a little cat and mouse game with them because they were trying to run me over. Because I didn't want these units to get killed. And here you go, an encounter between the wildmen. There you go. There's the fire bombs I was telling you guys about. Look how it knocked everybody over. And then we could just run in there with our rest of our units. And just do a lot of damage. And as you guys can tell, we made very quick, short work of them. And this unit right here is actually really, really fast. It's almost like they're a cavalry unit. They are slower, but they are a lot better. So there you go, the last Urukai crossbowman is standing there. And here you guys see we are finally going to be harassing the enemy here. They are coming in here again with the Dunish Outriders, which are really tough to deal with. Just completely knocking all my dwarves over. Doing a lot of damage there. They're actually a pretty good cavalry unit, and they're hard to deal with. And that's the thing that makes this faction so interesting, is the fact that they have the ability to call in these different types of units, which just makes them pretty formidable. And I actually feel like... No, so it's actually Isengard who's able to call these guys in. I would say that this is amazing. This building alone here allows them to call in such diverse units, which really balances them out, which I would say makes Isengard a really, really tough unit or opponent to play against. Again, they have you know, artillery, they have cavalry, they have cheap spam units. I really feel like they're a very strong faction if you have to play with them, which makes sense. I mean, Isengard, you know, was a pretty big deal in the movies, and now you guys are just seeing a really desperate situation for me, where it looks like my whole unit is just gonna get wiped out. You guys are seeing that my unit's actually able to survive a really, really long time, which just shows you how special they are. They're doing a lot of damage before they get taken out, and I think I'm going to let this unit actually die off while I get some more units and just prepare for a much better, more balanced army. But these guys are definitely heroes, and here comes the worm. completely just really devastating my units. But you guys see they're actually level 4 now. And we're actually fighting against Wormtongue. So just too much going on here. Sadly, these heroes are going to die. And you guys are seeing the enemies making a pretty big push here. Oliver's still hunting down some rogue units here. Oh, we're actually seeing a stone troll. And you guys see, man, stone trolls just have an incredible amount of damage to buildings. I mean, if you spam these units, it would be really tough. But then again, these archery units with an archer unit in there, sorry, this archery tower with elven archers can get rid of these massive beasts pretty quickly. So you see Oliver's slowly pushing up here on the right, but he's still seeing encounters between himself and Isengard. Isengard all around is just seeming to play a lot better than I would say Misty Mountain faction. And here we're actually seeing a dragon here attacking us, and there's actually a lot going on here in the middle. You guys see I'm calling in my special perk, giving my units more armor so that we can take out this dragon. But the enemy does use this spell where they can toss my troops around. But hopefully most of them will get up. And now we're kind of getting spammed with a lot of units. The mountain orcs coming in here, some of the cheaper goblin units. Nothing too crazy. I think we'll be able to deal with it pretty well. It's really this dragon that's causing us a lot of problems. And there you guys see Oliver actually called in this tornado to help us out. But you guys see, for the most part though, our army's still attacked. And there goes that dragon. Fortunately, the animation is a bit silly, but that's okay. The dragon's still pretty cool. And there we go, we just took out the bat. And now we're taking out another resource building here. So that way we're actually slowly pressuring the enemy here, and it's just kind of really getting towards the end game here where we're just making our final assault here. You guys do see me building this siege structure here, which allows me to, the workshop, to spawn the catapult units here. Here you guys are seeing a nice Warg Rider unit here. The Gundabad Wolf Riders coming in here, and then we have to deal with these snow trolls. But luckily we do have a good amount of archery units which are making quick work of these massive snow trolls. And we do have a catapult that's actually firing here from a distance. Although it is really hard to use catapults in this game without damaging your own units. It can be used very well for defensive measures in the early game. Or if you're on your heels and the enemy's just got a massive upper hand at you. Here we go, we're actually taking care of these mountain orcs really quick. And now we're dealing with more Warg Riders, as well as the Axemen from the Dunlading. There you guys see one of the flaming arrows there. If I can land a shot on them, it's just the problem is they do move around quite a bit. So it is tough. And here you guys see the enemies trying to finally go after my catapult, but it doesn't work out because our archery units took care of that very quickly. Here you guys see our first unit of these Lake Town Bowmen, which I do really like. I think they're a really good counter for other archers as well. There's this structure here, which is a war camp. There you go, we destroyed a second tower. Now they only have 2 towers remaining, which makes our life a lot easier. Again, we're failing to stop this ballista here. And now this dragon was called in. I believe this was actually my own perk, but the thing that happened here is, unfortunately, this dragon ended up hurting me more than the enemy. But you kind of see he does damage all around. If you actually look at the perk, it says, you know, so you summon a pile of gold and then the dragon comes seeking the gold, and anyone near the gold is going to get destroyed. So I should have retreated my enemy and just kind of let him do his thing. And I didn't really do that, which was unfortunate because it caused a lot of problems for me. And even though we're trying to I don't know why. I must have forgotten that I summoned this dragon, so I was trying to fight it myself, which is ridiculous because it's my own dragon. I know, guys, it's a little stupid, but let's pop over here on the right side again. Oliver has now a lot of really nice upgraded units coming with a Quingar, and then of course the Itari. So there you go. He's making a really nice assault there. Fully in the enemy's camp here. He's already destroyed 2 of the towers and some structures. He's really making a push here. The enemy's really doesn't have much to respond. They actually do have this really nice Bulk's bodyguard unit, which they are pretty strong. And then of course this a fireworm coming in here, which is also really strong. It's going to definitely give him some problems there. The left side here. We're still trying to make a landing here. Unfortunately, retreating a lot of our units because this dragon just absolutely wiped out a lot of our stuff. But as you guys can see, we did destroy a lot of the enemy's camp too. And there goes the dragon. Very cool. You see, Oliver's actually retreating a little bit because this counter push by the enemy was actually great. Enough to actually push him back. Because again, he has very few units, but they are really strong units, and they are hero units. And now a lot of those coming from these Bald's bodyguard units. By themselves, they're not that great. They do need support units for sure. And there you guys see them launching all those. Wow, they actually absolutely obliterated that infantry unit. But of course, they're getting hammered by these archers, which are just devastating damage to these special units. Again, special units are good, but you have to support them correctly. And if you don't, well, you're going to lose them. Here we have a warg unit. Hopefully it goes at the archers here, but Oliver does have some spearmen units here. And there you go. And he actually ends up losing a lot of his units there because he charged a spearman infantry unit there. There you go. And now we're really in the enemy's camp. There's not much they can do. We're gonna take away their ability for using any kind of ballistas, and now we just actually used a perk, spawning in a bunch more units. About 3 battalions of these amazing Azu Khazad-dûm units, which is from The Hobbit. So it's a pretty massive onslaught now. It's looking really grim for the enemy. I mean, they're really just not popping out any more units, unfortunately. They can't afford any of these. All they can afford is these right now, and it's pretty much over. It looks like the player kind of just gave up, and so right now we're just cleaning up everything, taking out the towers, taking out anything kind of spammy, and, you know, looks like Isengard is not going to see to fight another day. We're really just trying to bring it home and destroy the castle here. And if you destroy the fortress, the enemy actually, wow. The enemy actually loses the ability to call in any perks. So that's why you go after the fortress. That's really the #1 thing you want to take out if you can. Look at these Lake Town archers just going to town. That's awesome. Kind of reminds me of Age of Empires when they were throwing those flaming torches. And there you go. Oliver's like all up in the face of the enemy here. He's got his really nice spearmen units here. And he's got some archers in the background. They were still getting hammered by those trolls. And I'm not sure that he brought up enough. It'll be really interesting to see if he actually pulls it off with this few units. Because he's got 2 trolls throwing stones at him and his units. And they're getting pretty damaged. And there's actually flaming arrows being thrown as well. And here you guys have it. We have pretty much completely destroyed the enemy here. It's going to be very soon that we take out the rest of this, and there's really not much left. He's hiding behind his own towers here, which gives him time to heal up. And this is like the 3rd or 4th push that he's attempting here. It's just these cave trolls. Look how far they can throw, almost hitting the towers here, which is really crazy. You got a Patrick Mahomes arm right here, really. It's crazy. And wow, he's actually hitting the tower. What an incredible throw there. I mean, that's pretty awesome. And there you guys see my little goat herd coming in here. I decided to take out some things. There you guys see the golden pile, which you know what that means. Here comes the dragon again. It will destroy friendlies too, which is, you got to be careful. And you know, what I was trying to do this is to support my ally here. There goes the dragon just stomping around, causing a lot of problems for the enemy. And this is actually gave way for Oliver to come in. Hopefully he doesn't get too close to the dragon though, because that dragon will absolutely demolish things. It's a level 10, so it's able to do a lot of things. And you can reposition it too, which is pretty cool. And here it's just kind of killing off a lot of the defense units in the buildings. There you go, Oliver was able to destroy that tower. And he's finally able to push in on the enemy here, and it's looking like it's going to be a breakthrough that won't be stopped. There you go, you guys are hearing me calling in my boost for my troops. And we just destroyed one of those tower things there.
Been summoned here to answer the threat of Mod.
And this is actually Oliver coming in, calling in one of his perks where he has these rangers coming here. Just cause absolute devastation. And there you guys have it. I just summoned one of my abilities here where I deploy 3 battalions of the Kazakh infantry. Just looking like a massive onslaught right now. I love how this looks like just like a giant anthill or a mud pile. The thing about playing as the elves is they're amazing at efficiently killing the enemy. There's not very many of them, but they are very, very efficient. Their archers, even their low tier units, are really strong. So you gotta definitely know how to counter it. We do have a lot of really fun. Me and Oliver play a lot of games where we do elves versus dwarves. Seems to be our pattern here. Just seems like the 2 strongest factions in my opinion. But I think this mod is pretty balanced. You could definitely take on the elves with most other factions, as long as you know what you're doing. And you just see how quickly, look at all these archers I have in the background there. Just crazy. These archers do crazy damage to structures. And I can form these little Tostitos formations like the Romans. There you go. Just this massive ring of death here. Look at these guys coming out here brave. Bald's Guard. Not going to stand a chance though. It's just incredible. They're just doing everything they can. And these hero units are pretty strong, but right now we're actually focusing on this building here which can summon dragons. So that's more important to take out right now before these guys. And that's game over, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for coming, guys. If you guys enjoyed this match, do smash the subscribe and like button. So if you guys enjoy this kind of content, I'll be back with more.